Damon and Ratto, John Dickinson in for Ray all day long, and we're very happy to welcome in a guy who has been playing some of his best football of his career recently for the 49ers, already in his fifth NFL season. Jeff Wilson Jr. is nice enough to join us from the Greenbrier. He got to practice today. That's good. We go inside the 49ers locker room. It's presented by Harris Ranch Beef. Visit your local Chavez supermarkets for all of your beef and tailgate needs. Jeff, thank you so much for your time today. How are you?
Damon, John, what's going on, man? I'm blessed, man. Just working.
How was practice today? I know you got back at it after a little shoulder, stinger, bruise? I don't even know what it was, but you missed a couple days. You got back today. You feeling good?
Oh, yeah, man. Much better, man. Much better. Feeling like myself.
What is it about the Greenbrier? How does that treat you? I know you guys have done this a couple years now, and during COVID it was probably a little bit different, but you guys have been successful on these Eastern trips. What's it like having 10 days away from everybody and having to put you in position to play a game?
Bonded. That'll probably be the key word I use. I say all the guys, we really take time with each other, and we really have nothing else to do but to bond with each other. So I feel like every time we leave here, our team always make a big leap, man, because everybody is just around each other. You're smiling, you're talking. I mean, you're probably even having conversations that you normally don't have because you got nothing but time.
How are the beds at the Greenbrier? I'm always a stickler about my own pillow. Do you travel with your own pillow? Are the Greenbrier's pillows good?
Most definitely. I got to bring my own essentials. You know what I mean? No shade to them, but me personally, I just like to keep everything the same. So I like to bring my own.
There you go. Everyone has their own flavor. I'm totally on step with it. Do you get to order all the room service you want and bill it to the team?
I mean, I wouldn't say this all, but you definitely get to order, you know what I mean? You try not to abuse it, you know what I mean? Be thankful for it, but yeah, you definitely get to order some food, though, to the room.
That's great. And so now I know that the Greenbrier sits on what was a huge underground bunker that the government built in the 50s. Have you seen this bunker? Do you know about this bunker?
I've seen the interest, but I haven't actually been down there, you know what I mean? So I've seen the interest of it, though, man. It's really crazy, man. It's just so much pops in your head, so much you think about what could have went on or what was going on when people was here. So it's really kind of cool, though.
Well, hopefully at no point in time, Jeff, you need the bunker. We have Jeff Wilson Jr. here with us on 95.7 The Game. And I'll tell you, man, the running game has not missed a beat since you took over as primary back. Congratulations to you. This has got to be incredibly satisfying. I think two of the best games that you have played are just the last two games that you have played. Do you feel the same way?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Yeah, Jeff, I got to ask you, I think Deebo Samuel was talking about some of the guys getting out on an ATV trip. Were you a part of that trip? And if you were, what was it like? And if you weren't, did you hear about it?
No, I heard about it and seen it. I didn't get to go. I was getting treatment and getting my body right. You know what I mean? But I definitely heard about it and seen some videos. It's like those guys had a great time. I wish I was there.
That's good. Team bonding. Absolutely love it. I want to talk about a trip that you took to the end zone a couple of weeks ago. And I know it's all about looking ahead and you don't spend much time looking back. But to me, you ran what I think is the sexiest running play the 49ers have had this season when it was toss power left. All the eye candy, everything was going left, and then you cut it back through the center guard gap for an untouched touchdown. Was that the design? Is that your vision that brought you to that spot in the line? Would you talk us through that play a little bit? It was fantastic.
I mean, obviously, it was a play that we talked about during the week. Well, not during the week, all week. You know what I mean? We knew the look we wanted. We knew the techniques that we was going to run it against. And they happened to give us exactly what we was looking for. And obviously, running the ball obviously can go anywhere, anytime, because the person can get out of their gap or go against the scheme or the stunt that they have. So you always have to read it like a runner. But we already kind of predetermined that and knew where we wanted to hit it and knew where it was going to go. So it was just the fact of keeping everybody flowing, keeping everybody on their track, and waiting for that right moment to cut it upfield.
Jeff Wilson Jr. here with Damon Bruce and John Dickinson. So Kyle Shanahan has a reputation of being a run play design genius. Is it fun to be a running back in his offense? And what makes you a running back that fits his offense so well?
I believe you got to have the mindset here. If you don't have the mindset, you won't be a running back for the 49ers. That's first thing first. And Kyle, he's a guru, man. I feel like just like he gets people in one-on-one in the passing game, he does the same thing for the run game, and that like blows my mind. Like how can you put your running back in one-on-ones or set him up for one-on-ones like almost all the time? You know what I mean? And like for a running back, who doesn't want to be in that? You know what I mean? Who doesn't want to have to only worry about one man? Or you know what I mean? Like so, that's just like it's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to be coached by him, and a blessing to play for him.
What's the balance, Jeff, like between, some games it seems like you're running the football to set up the pass. It's felt lately in the last 3 games or so as if you guys have been using the pass to set up the run, throwing it early, and then boom, you can break off a big one. What is that like in preparation for a week with Kyle Shanahan scheming it up? And do you feel like you guys have been maybe passing a little bit more because teams know you eventually want to get back to the run in a big-time way?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. You know what I mean? If anything, like, everything marries for each other. Everything plays off for each other. You can't run the ball without passing, or you can't pass the ball without running. So, like, all those Kyle's does a tremendous job. Like, how he puts it together. Like, I wish I could just be inside his brain and figure out how he does it, but he sets it up perfect almost every week. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, people wanted it could have been, you probably had a play or two, or you wish you could have changed, but for the most part of it, everything's always been right on the money, man. So he's just a genius, man, and he's the best at his job.
Again, you're in your 5th NFL season. Does it feel like you've been in the NFL for 5 years, or does it go by so fast you blink your eye and you're already 3 years into your career?
I kind of got it. I'll say both, because I don't know. Like now, it be some days where I feel like, all right, I'm definitely not year one. Let me go get in this hot tub and warm up before I go ahead to practice. But you know what I mean? But at the same time, though, it's like, it's cool, though, because, like I said, Kyle takes care of you. Like, the organization take care of you. So you don't really have to worry about those things. Like I said, the only thing you really have to worry about is coming in and being your best every day.
How good is it to have Tevin Coleman back in the running back room? What's your relationship like, and do you feel that your running styles complement each other?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Tev, that's my big brother. You know what I mean? Obviously, he was with the team already, and when he came, he took me under his lead and treated me as that, just like I was his little brother. You know what I mean? And I always have love for him. It won't be a time that we won't talk for the rest of our life, and we always be tied in with each other.
Jeff, what has the transition been like in moving from Trey Lance, obviously, who there were high expectations for, and I know all you guys are just gutted for his injury and not being able to play after that first game plus of the season. But what's the transition been like as far as getting everybody on the same page with Jimmy Garoppolo now taking over? And is it easier because you know what Jimmy can do with this football team?
I definitely say it's easier. You know what I mean? Because it's not like a draft pick that you got and hasn't played a game, so you don't really know what you're getting from him, or he haven't seen all the looks, so you got to wear if he can make adjustments or call. So it's none of that, man. Like Jimmy is Jimmy. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks in his game right now. You know what I mean? He doesn't get enough respect and he doesn't get enough credit. You know what I mean? And obviously, shout out to Trey. I miss him. He's our guy. Still is our guy. You know what I mean? It was heartbreaking for that to happen for him, but having Jimmy in, like I said, he's already played with us. Everybody already caught balls from him. We know the angles he takes. We know the authority he demands. So it's just it's like, you know what I mean? It's just like riding a bike. You just jump on and go. You know what I mean? Like we've been doing it, so it's like nothing new.
What would you say is the most underrated or underappreciated aspect to Jimmy Garoppolo's game or leadership or whatever it is?
I just wouldn't even say his game or anything. It's just him as a person, man. Like he doesn't even have to step on the field, but he gives everybody that extra hump all the time. You know what I mean? And that's like to see his focus and see how he prepares, man. Like like you have to do it yourself. You know what I mean? Like, he holds you accountable without even holding you accountable, on top of holding you accountable, because he will do that. You know what I mean? So that's just the type of person Jimmy is. I feel like just him, period. Like, he's very underrated, undercredited. It's just, man, I feel like I wish I could just change it all for him, man, because he's really a great dude and a great quarterback.
Jeff Wilson Jr. joining us here on 95.7 The Game, coming to us from the Greenbrier, where, again, he practiced today. It looked like Ty Davis-Price is working himself back into the mix. You know, you talked about how Tevin Coleman took you under his wing when you were a young pup in this league. Have you got a rookie assigned to you? Have you taken on a youngster on this team as the guy you're mentoring?
Oh, yeah. I took in Ty and JP. Like I said, I had, along with Tevin, I had Jared McKinney, Matt Breida, Raheem Mostert. So all those guys showed me the way and showed me the way it's supposed to be done. You know what I mean? And those guys treated me with the utmost respect, with the utmost credit, you know what I mean? And treated me as a man. And even though I was on practice squad, they didn't treat me like I was a practice squad player or none of that. You know what I mean? Those guys just always showed me love. Anything I ever needed, they're coming through. Like, first getting in, Raheem, he took me out and we ate breakfast together. And this is when I knew nothing about him or he knew nothing about me. You know what I mean? But that's just the type of players that I was around and that we had. You know, and that's to speak values to them as people. You know what I mean? So with all those showing, it'll be wrong. I don't know other way besides what I was showed. So I give those guys my all.
It sounds like a very tight locker room. I mean, it sounds like you guys legitimately play with each other and for each other.
No, most definitely. Like I said, I can go down today and I can win, Tel can go in, or JP, and things gonna roll the same. And I'm gonna be just as happy for those guys as if I was in there making the runs myself, just as it's the same as they doing for me now. So, man, if you're selfish or you got any kind of bad blood in you, Kyle knows that. He brings certain type of people into the organization. If you're not that certain type person, you won't be here. So typically, we never have to worry about those things.
Niners running back Jeff Wilson Jr. here on 95.7 The Game. So one of the questions going into this year was the offensive line, specifically the interior of this offensive line. And we say all the time, nothing in the NFL proves that you can play in the NFL until you actually have success in the NFL. Like, no matter what your college career was, no matter what you did anywhere else, this league spits out successful college players all the time. And it takes guys you've never heard of and turns them into stars. The NFL's funny like that. Are you satisfied with the questions that this offensive line, I think, is absolutely answered early here? I think it's better than anyone expected. Do you feel the same way?
Man, they're not done yet, and that's all I got to say, man. We don't listen to outsiders. We don't pay attention to what other people say or even they believe. You know what I mean? If it's not in the house, it doesn't really matter, man. Those guys are the best in the game, and I tell you that they don't get enough credit. It'll come out eventually later on. You can even jot this down or pinpoint this and remember me telling you. Those guys are some of the best guys in the league and on the best line in the league.
Jeff, I want to go back to just how tight-knit the group is and ask you about, is there what's the vibe in terms of just expectation? Is it unfinished business given last year and those of you that were around going back to 2019 and the Super Bowl loss? I mean, is it unfinished business? What, you could feel it coming out of the locker room in LA when you guys lost in the championship game in January, heading into this year. Is that still present for you guys?
Yeah, but I would say it's more so of us not selling ourselves short anymore. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're supposed to have, we definitely feel, whether it's a factor or not, we're supposed to have 2 rings right now. So, I mean, and that's how we look at the things. We know what type of team we have. We know what type of players we got. And, yeah, we had some changes, but overall, I mean, we pretty much still the same. So, and none of those guys there and all those guys hungry, and it's just time for it. And we know that, and everybody knows that. So that's what we work for.
When you look at a box score, where do your eyes go first? Do you look at your yards per attempt? Do you look at how many carries you got? Do you look at your total yardage on the day? What do you think is the most important number to produce and get the team into the win column?
The last word you said, the win column. Regardless of what went on in the game, I don't care if I have 100 yards or 10. long as that 10 help contribute to us getting that win, that's all that matters at the end of the day. And that's not for me. That's every position that we have that plays on that field, and that's every person that has the last name with the 49ers jersey. So that's just how we go, and that's just pretty much what it is.
Now, Jeff, I don't ask a lot of men about their dark places, but I guess I have to ask you about yours, because your teammates have said that Jeff Wilson Jr. goes into a dark place every game day. What are you listening to when you go into that place? Maybe you're actually sitting in a dark room somewhere, or is it just a mentality? Tell us about your dark place, and don't be shy.
Oh yeah, no, I grew up in the South, so I listen to a lot of Southern music, a lot of like Lil Boosie, Lil Webby, NBA YoungBoy. I go all the way back to Master P, like all those guys, just the old school classics. You know what I mean? I don't know why they just get me turned up and put me in my mood. And regardless of all that, the dark place mainly comes from just, the stuff I've been through in my life and where I'm trying to go. I just feel like, I got a lot of respect that I'm trying to gain from a lot of people, regardless of which it don't matter. And I'm not honing myself on that, but I just feel like me as a player and being in the league for 5 years, it's just more about, gaining respect for people. I want people to know, when they hear my name, he's not just some other player, that he's an NFL running back that plays in the National Football League.
You are from Texas. You grew up right in the middle of that hotbed between Houston and Dallas, and obviously we know who you are now as an athlete. I mean, you are an incredibly successful NFL player. So how was it that you ended up at North Texas? Because normally, how did that guy get to North Texas? Well, he was 5'6" and no one recruited him. You're not. You're a big guy. You're a big bruising back. How'd you end up at North Texas?
I don't typically want to say because of my school, because I went to a great high school and they did everything. I'm a reason why I'm able to be where I'm at today. But the high school I went to, our graduating class was like 60 people or something like that. You know what I mean? So it was just real small. Like if you drive past my hometown and where I was and go to school, you probably didn't heard people say this, or if you look at it, but if you blink, you'll miss it. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of how it is, and I think that was just more so what it was.
The entire high school gets overlooked.
Man, everything. You know what I mean? Even just the city itself. You know what I mean? If you wasn't here by East Texas, you'll think Palestine, Westwood, Crockett. The last thing you'll probably say is Elkhart. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of how it always been. Well,
shout out Elkhart, Texas. We're here for you. And Jeff, thank you so much for being here with us today. We really appreciate it. We got to ask every man from Texas, I guess, the following question: how much do you like barbecue? How much do you like grilling?
Man, it's the best in the world. Hey, I'm the champ. If you want to get our grill on, just let me know.
Well, we're going to help you get your grill on. We're going to do that. Our friends at Harris Ranch Beef are going to give you 10 pounds of prime porterhouse steaks. You cook those bad boys medium rare, and you enjoy yourself. Jeff, it's been a pleasure watching you play this year. Congratulations on your personal success, on the team success that you guys are having. Tell us a little bit about Atlanta and what you think of this game against the Falcons coming up.
Like I said, I feel like this year is mainly about us. So, like I said, go in, get in the film room, know what they like to do, and then I can get a lot of looks. So hone in on all those, and then go out and play our best game. You know what I mean? Obviously, we faced them last year, and they know that. They remember that, so we know they're going to come out hot and fierce and ready to go. So we got to match their intensity and then try to take the life out of them and get the win.
Jeff, you are an awesome interview. What a great personality. Thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck with everything.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you. Y'all have a blessing.